we're going to pick out what style of terrain we want to make.
Now, you can either do it this way, or you can do it completely randomly, where you shuffle the 14 tiles you get together and deal them out without looking at them. That leads to some rather interesting terrain choices. The shape of the board is completely up to the players. They can choose to do something complicated or just a standard square board, whatever really suits their fancy, as long as they can agree on it. And it looks like my wife is trying to put together some sort of attack the hill scenario.
Why not?
Why not? That's a good standard.
Oops, taking out the archers with the cards.
Well, there will be lots of archers, I'm sure.
There. We're working on it. I like making things pretty.
So we're going to go with a fairly small board just because we don't want this to take forever.
Secondary hill? Or not?
No, you can just go with a 3x3 board.
That's what I mean. There.
Oh, well, okay. That
There we
would
go.
make sense. Now,
Well, we have forests with a fence obstacle that you can't move through it. You have to go through the road between them. We have the hill where the slope is cleverly marked by arrows. And you have a river with a bridge that is easiest to cross there, so you don't have to move at half speed through the river. Other than that, we have some plain field, and let's see what happens. I have a feeling I'm going to be assaulting his hill.
That's usually what happens. So, the fog of war, screen goes across the board like this. Now, when you're setting up the board, you set your you have up to 20 pieces you can put on the board initially. And it can be any force mix that you choose. You can only place those pieces on the tiles closest to you.
Now I am going to give away my strategy a little bit in talking about how I want to do this. Now you have to start within 3 lines of 3 squares of your side of the board. I kind of messed myself up by putting a river on the first 3 squares of my board, but I can I can make it. So I'm going to have to get across the board pretty quickly. I'm choosing mounted archers. They have a movement speed of 4 and an attack range of 4 with their skill Parthian Charge.
I, being highly uninventive, am going with a more standard pikeman and archer defense. Having seen the terrain, I know that my wife is most likely going to be using some kind of high-speed attack using mounted archers and or knights, so I should be ready to defend against that.
I'm going to need a lot of troops, but it is going to take me a minute to figure out exactly where to put them. I really don't want to pay the penalty of moving at half speed across this level of terrain. But I may have to. How many am I at? 3, 4, 6, 9, 10. Need more troops! Let's go ahead and do that. I can start a knight on top of a hill, right? Right. Can't quite start him on the slope. There. Wait. 17. We'll do that. We'll do that. And I believe I am ready.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Oh, I got one more. You too?
No, I had too many pieces on the board.
Cheater, cheater, pumpkin eater.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, we're good.
Okay, now I'm going to scoot my pieces a little bit back out of the way because eventually I'm sure I'm going to end
There'll be dice everywhere.
Well, I'm going to end up with some routed troops that I need to pile up next to the board because I know that those cost me only half the number of resupply points to put back out, redeploy.